Hi, this is Brewbird. I'm a Canadian girl training to be a whiskey distiller in Scotland. Welcome to the Distilled Kitchen, where we'll be making British dishes and cocktails, because every good dish deserves a good drink. Today we're making Cranachan, a simple classic Scottish dessert that is often served during Burns Night, a supper celebrating the life and poetry of Robert Burns. We have 200 grams of raspberries here, and we'll set aside a few raspberries to garnish our Cranachan at the end. Then, we'll sprinkle a spoonful of sugar onto the rest of the raspberries to help draw out their juices and start the maceration process. Next, we'll whip up 300 milliliters of our Scottish double cream until fluffy, being careful not to beat it too long, otherwise it will turn into butter. I think the dairy products in Scotland are a lot cheaper and better than in North America. But if you can't get double cream, then you can substitute it with heavy whipping cream. We'll stir in a spoonful of heather honey, which will add a warm and floral note to it. I prefer my desserts on the less sweet side, so I've kept my sugar additions to a minimum here. Then we'll stir in a wee dram of Scotch whiskey, or just as much as you like. I'm using a blended whiskey from the Borders distillery where I work, so I get to buy it on the cheap. The bowl of raspberries that we set aside earlier has started to release their sweet, sweet juices, so we'll help them along by mashing them with the back of a spoon until we get a nice jammy consistency. We don't want to puree the raspberries since it will be too runny and we won't get the texture of the raspberries. In the meantime, we'll put 45 grams of rolled oats in a frying pan and gently heat them up on medium heat until they just start to brown and smell nutty. Now we can assemble our Cranachan. We'll put a dollop of cream on the bottom and smooth it into an even layer. Then a spoonful of smashed raspberries and a layer of our toasted oats. We'll repeat the process, finishing with our double cream on top and garnishing with a couple of the raspberries we saved at the beginning, and a mint leaf for aesthetics. Our Cranachan is looking delicious, but it's just screaming for some company. So we'll make a Screaming Orgasm to pair with it, because a girl should experience at least one in her life. We'll start by filling our shaker half full with ice cubes and then put in 30 milliliters of Irish cream, which will add cocoa and whiskey flavors. 30 milliliters of Coffee Liqueur for those dark coffee notes. 30 milliliters of Amaretto Liqueur to add a slight almond nuttiness. And 30 milliliters of Scottish single cream for extra richness. Last, we'll add 30 milliliters of the Borders Distillery small batch vodka, and this addition of vodka is what separates a regular orgasm cocktail from a screaming one. We'll shake it all up, shake, 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 and pour it into a martini glass. The Cranachan is rich and creamy, and you get a slight tartness from the raspberries and a nuttiness from the toasted oats. The coffee, almond, and chocolate notes in the Screaming Orgasm complement well with this dessert. So excuse me while I go off and finish the rest of it. See you next time!